All right, everybody, welcome to the Bear Cave. I'm Smoking Bears. Today I got a tribute cook for a cousin of mine. We'll get into that in just a little bit. So let me show you what I got. I've got the Beyond Burgers. We're going to cook them up. They're frozen. I'm going to show you how to do it. Cheers. All right, so we got our pan on like a medium low, a little over medium low. I started that before I got everything out and got ready to go. Get your pan hot. This is just a regular non-stick pan because that's what the man said he had. And by that I mean my cousin. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this Beyond Meat burger. They're frozen. We're going to open them up until they're frozen. Just pull that little paper off. So the backstory is my cousin, he's a vegetarian. Well, he doesn't eat meat, so he eats these Beyond Burgers and other plant-based burgers. And he tells me, he says, man, he goes, I cooked these burgers, they're frozen, and the inside doesn't get done, but the outside's completely done. He goes, so can you help me out? So we went through what kind of burner he's got. He's got a gas stove, which I don't, but we're going to simulate that. He's got a non-stick skillet, no lid, so we're going to work around that. And I said, okay, well, let's just get into this. And so I asked him about seasonings, and he's like, what are you talking about? Hey, he's a freshman in college. He doesn't really know much. What I suggested was we went through the cupboard and found a sweeter, kind of a honey-based all-purpose rub that he liked, and it was like a honey garlic. But for today's thing, we're going to use I got some Applewood McCormick's and some Montreal steak seasoning. So while this is frozen, I'm going to come in and sprinkle just a little bit on this side here. Why? Well, because as this thaws, that moisture will actually set that rub. And I'll do the same on this side. This is that Applewood. You guys can use anything you want. Regular salt, pepper, Cajun, whatever. So we got him going, and we were talking about, he said his pan gets really, really hot in the center, but not on the outsides. So what I was suggesting was swoosh them around. Keep moving them around. And pick them up, shake them. That way you don't get a hot spot in your skillet. Okay, so he was saying that his skillet gets really hot in the center. So he's got uneven cooking, which is probably part of the pan. Could be part of the burner. I don't really know because I've not seen it. But what I told him to do was turn down this heat to a medium low instead of being on a medium high or anything. Turn it down, and if he felt like it was getting too hot in the center, pick it up. Move it away from the heat. What that'll do is that'll cool that pan a little bit so you can swoosh them around. Just get them moving, right? And then return it back to the heat. You can tell because your grease bubbles will slow down. That tells you you're cooling a little bit. And you just want to rotate. Like if this is the center, rotate it. Just like so. Now things are starting to happen. And my man said he didn't have a lid for his skillet, which is fine. A lid will help trap some of the heat and give you a little more even cooking to help thaw out the top. So I said, well, you can pick up aluminum foil for like a couple bucks. So just take some aluminum foil, set it over top, and just give it a crimp. Right? Be careful because that is hot. Just give it a crimp. Just like that. And let it sit for a few minutes. So with that lightly crimped, we're still keeping some of the heat inside. That way you're kind of helping to thaw the top before we flip it over. And we're still going to swish it around. You feel it moving. And replace it. So now we can take a quick look. You see some things are happening. That's all good. See, we're getting done up here. So that rub's kind of sweating in a little bit. Now we're going to kind of poke around. It is still pretty firm up top here. But underneath, we're getting a good color, good crust. So we're going to go ahead and flip it. Because we want to promote even cooking, even though they're still frozen. And you got to remember which one's which, so you can season this side here. A little Montreal steak seasoning. A little bit of the apple wood. And if you mix them up, hey, whatever, you just create some other flavor. Alright, and then we can put this back on loosely. Alright, it's been about a minute and a half. Pop this off. See where we're at. We're getting some good grease there. We're getting some good sweating in. That's good. We're just going to move it around. Rotate it. There we go. So the side that was in the center goes to the outside. Just keep moving it. Okay, so it's been about another minute or so. Let's see where we're at. Getting nice and firm in the center. So, feeling pretty good. So we'll let this go another minute and a half or so, you know, to get some good color. Interesting thing here, I just read the back here, and it says if it's purchased frozen, refrigerate it before cooking. Preheat on a non-stick skillet on medium-high to high, or medium-high. Cook for 4 minutes per side. Shooting for an internal temp of 165. So we'll see where we're at. So far I've kind of not done that because I cook it on a medium-low and I cook it frozen. Well, let's see where we're at. We're at a 130, 140. So we got still going up. 143. Let's go ahead and rotate. Alright, so let's give it a try here. Been about another minute. We're up around 165 right there. Alright, so let's get these pulled off here. Alright, so I gave this a few minutes to rest. Let's go ahead and try it out. Here's what they are. Let's just cut into it real quick. Close up. See, it's still steaming. The texture's there all the way through. There's not a cold spot. It's heated all the way through. It's got a low butter like on the outside, like a little firm on the outside. Kind of like a burger, like you'd want a little crust. Okay, so to my cousin, man, I hope this helps you out in your plant-based non-meat burger cooking. We learned a couple things today. At least I hope you did. The internal temperature of a edible soybean is 165. Who knew? Just remember, man, you can flavor anything the way you like it. You know, it's just cooking. Try something new, you know? And remember, there's only 2 rules in cooking. Did it taste good? Did you have fun? Rock on. You're awesome.